You're live. Yay. Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, I'm so glad this worked. We're so excited. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our very first Global Heart Sync party. Wherever you are, we hope you're enjoying time with friends and celebrating or just enjoying time on your own. And we're so excited to have you here. So thank you for being here. This is our beta test party, and it's the beginning of something that we hope will grow bigger, brighter, and more powerful with each gathering. So thank you very much for being here right at the start. So today is International Peace Day, and it's a really important day. Dr. Mitch will talk to you a little bit about his feelings about that and why this year is different from other years. And with so much turmoil in the world today, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by negative news, and it weighs on us. We feel a lot of anxiety as a society, as a collective, more stress and more sadness. But there's another story unfolding at the same time. And it's a story of light and love. And around the globe, people are becoming more conscious. They're tuning into their patterns and their behaviors. And more importantly, they're tuning into their hearts. And as more of us tune into our hearts, we start to begin to see our own inner light. And as you can see your inner light, you begin to see the light in others. And so this is an event that we hope will bring people together to raise all of our lights and to remember that we are all connected. So a couple of things that I just wanted to mention about this party. A few simple agreements that we have made and communicated with all of you in the messaging. There's no activism. We're not celebrating or supporting one country or one culture. No national flags, no politics. Instead, we're introducing something that we're calling the flag for humanity. And Dr. Mitch is going to talk a little bit about the meaning behind this. So stay tuned for that. Today is a day that we're really celebrating our collective connection in our oneness. So thank you so much for being here with us. Before I introduce Dr. Mitch, just a couple of moments of housekeeping. This is a coloring meditation. So hopefully you all have printed your heart cards. Okay, and these are cards that during the meditation, we invite you to color. If you have coloring utensils, that's wonderful. If you'd like to participate while I'm getting everything prepared and Dr. Mitch does his little chat in the beginning, maybe get ready and find a place to sit that's comfortable where you can do that. You might also feel inspired to use the Global Coherence app instead of coloring, and you're welcome to do that. So for those of you who have already downloaded that app and you're already in our group, you can do this heart coherence meditation and collect points. And those points are going to contribute to our Global Heart Sync platform. And we'd be really excited for you to do it that way, and you're welcome to do that instead of coloring. And if you don't know what the Global Coherence app is and you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry at all. After the meditation and after the event, you're welcome to go to globalheartsync.org, and everything that you need will be there to learn about it. Okay, so other points of housekeeping. If you're watching from the globalheartsync.org website, you'll see there's nowhere to comment, so you'll just be watching us, and we can't see you either. So if you do want to comment or just tell us you're here and wave hello, you can click on the YouTube icon on the bottom right of your screen. It'll take you to the YouTube page, and there you can pop in your comments and share your thoughts, your love, and anything you want. So just know that not everybody will be on the YouTube page. You won't see everybody there. Some people are just going to be on the Global Heart Sync, and we're so glad to have you there too. Okay, so without further ado, I want to introduce Dr. Mitch. Dr. Mitch is a physician, a visionary, and a certified educator of applied compassion through Stanford University Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education. His mission is to bring more heart into healthcare and into the world. And we're so lucky to have him. Today, he's going to share just a few inspirational words with us on International Day of Peace and and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Global Heart Sync movement, and then guide us through a very special meditation, a heart coherence meditation. We hope you're going to stay and join us for the whole thing. So wherever you are in the world, whether you're in a room alone or whether you're with friends, quietly or loudly gathering and enjoying each other's company, we're so happy you're here amplifying the light of love and connection with us and with each other. And please join me in welcoming Dr. Mitch.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jody. And it's, in the spirit of Global Peace Day, I am welcoming all of you with an open heart, sending wishes of peace to you, your families, your community, and to the world. I believe that September 21, 2025 is going to be a day that humanity will remember. This Global Peace Day, I think, is very different from any other. I mean, first of all, today is a partial solar eclipse. There's an alignment between the Earth, the moon, the sun. There's a new moon. This is a time of renewal, a time for new beginnings. And we're on the eve of an equinox where light and darkness is balanced across the world. There's a convergence of alignment. And on this Global Peace Day, I invite you to hold this convergence as an invitation to pause and reflect on the science of connection, the science of peace, and how we as individuals, we can bring alignment to our mind, our body, our emotions, just like the cosmos in this moment is in alignment. So this is a time where there's such a degree of social discord, social strife, that it's important that we begin to tune into a conversation that explains our common humanity. So on this Global Peace Day, let's discuss a little bit of the science behind peace. And it turns out that our heart is so much more than a pump and is absolutely pivotal in this narrative of peace. And just to share that what I will be sharing with you is really born out of my own story of heart. Very early in my medical career, my first year, I was diagnosed with a condition that required open heart surgery. And very quickly, I experienced our medical model from the different side. And shortly after I returned to work, I was then appointed the chief of our department. So very early, very quickly, I experienced our entire model through and through. And I realized that there's something fundamentally missing within our medical model. There's something, there's a huge gap, and it's so limited in scope in how we define health and well-being, how we study it. And as a chief of a department, I can tell you that it's just not sustainable. Our system is so outdated. And this really catapulted me in a different direction. And I started traveling, and I started to spend time in India. I started to begin to look at how other cultures approached health and wellness. And it was in India that I realized that there's an entire discipline of science that we're just not exposed to in the West. You can call it the science of consciousness, the science of spirituality, interconnectedness, whatever you want to label it as, that's okay. But to know that there is a discipline of mind, and this science really describes energy, and it's the same energy that constitutes all of us and our world. And for me, this was a huge, realization, because, in my field of work, I'm a radiologist. So we don't use prescription pads. We don't use scalpel blades. We use our profound understanding of energy to non-invasively dissect the body like a loaf of bread. We use MRI scanners and CT scanners. And the only reason why these work is because you and I and everybody, we're all beings of light. We are all beings of energy. We're literally extracting information from the light of your atoms. And from this very scientific perspective, you can begin to appreciate that there's a degree of spirituality and connection in what I'm sharing with you. And so I have created this little symbol called the medicinal mandala. This is a diagram that helps us discuss how modern science is finally catching up with ancient wisdom. And just to share that the centerpiece that Albert Einstein is staring at, it's called a vector equilibrium. This is related to the 1996 Nobel Prize in Chemistry because it represents a perfectly balanced system of energy. And in this diagram, it represents our modern understanding of energy and technology. And yet the lotus flower in the background, well, this is an ancient symbol. It's been around for thousands of years, found in the East. And it represents the science of consciousness and connection. And you can see how those two diagrams, when superimposed, they weave into each other. They occupy the same space. And again, this is a beautiful way to help us in this moment begin to appreciate that science and spirituality are not two ends of the spectrum. When you take a step back far enough, you realize that this is all just one big circle. And so in this moment of alignment, this expansion of consciousness that's taking place on the planet, that we can begin to tap into our true nature. We can begin to tap in and connect with the light that's within each and every one of us. And so, in this story of looking at the heart and understanding ourselves as an energetic being, I just want to share that, it was in the 1970s that a very famous cardiologist, Dr. Herbert Benson from Harvard University, he described this capacity that individuals can learn that literally upregulates our biology. And this is, something that everybody can learn. And yet, like the mind is similar to a muscle, the more that we practice these techniques, the easier it becomes, and yet the more effective are the results. In 1991, Dr. J.R. Moore from University of Montreal identified that the heart has this little miniature, basically a little brain, about 40,000 of these cells called sensory neurites that function very similar to the cells in your brain. And there's such a degree of intelligence that of this little brain. And one of the key functions of this brain is that it helps us emotionally regulate. And in fact, if you think of Einstein when he said everything is energy, well, your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences, these are also forms of energy. When you feel love and you feel that expansiveness, or when you feel stressed or anxious, you feel that tightness, that constriction. These are forms of energy that you experience. And these emotions and these thoughts are literally encoded into the rhythms of our heart. Imagine that. Your emotional states are literally encoded within the information of our heart rate rhythms. And so when you feel love, when you feel kindness and compassion, your heart gets into a beautiful, smooth, regular rhythm. And we call this coherence. Dr. Roland McCready from HeartMath Institute, he's a global leader in the science of psychophysiology, showing us that, yes, the heart is so much more than just a pump, that it's a bioelectric organ, and that is translating our emotional energy and our emotional states into these rhythms. And this coherent state has a huge implication when it comes to health and wellness. Just as an example, in August 2024, a very well-known, well-recognized and awarded researcher at UC San Diego, Dr. Hemal Patel, identified that individuals who were acquainted with this practice of coherence, and the more that they practice, the higher degree of immunity they had from the SARS-CoV virus. And they even identified the very specific protein that the body was producing as a result of this energetic physiologic state of coherence. They've done studies, a 4-year study, in fact, throughout the United States in different high schools showed that on average, high school students' math scores on college prep exams increased on average by 73% as a result of people learning how to tune into their hearts. The heart has been shown to help people reduce challenges from depression, anxiety, even reduce cognitive decline in patients with Alzheimer's and dementia. And yet, Dr. Sarah Lazar, her work shows that the mind is truly like a muscle, and that the more that you practice, even as little as 20 minutes a day for 2 months, will shrink your amygdala, which is the major part of the brain in the limbic system that triggers your fight or flight. And so with time, as the amygdala shrinks, that trigger finger becomes less sensitive. So the stress around you perhaps may not change, but the way that you perceive it, the way that your body reacts to it is radically different. And so the heart, my friends, is pivotal in the way that we understand ourselves and how we can tap into our true potential. But the story doesn't end just with you. Your heart, it turns out, can actually synchronize and co-regulate other people's hearts. There is a research study that shows that when an individual who's going to go for surgery, just 30 minutes, a conversation and a connection with the physician, focusing of creating compassion in that 30 minutes, causes a reduction of post-operative pain medication by 50%. And there is a statistically significant decrease in hospital stays and complication rate, simply through compassion. And this understanding of compassion and co-regulation is changing our understanding of how interconnected we actually are. You know, from an Isaac Newtonian perspective, you know, we used to think that you're just made up of these marbles, like these atoms, these bits, and that your bits and my bits are separate, and that your bits is separate from the world that you experience. But the fact is, you know, that's absolutely not true. In fact, it's just part of the story. In the understanding of quantum physics, the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to 3 individuals that experimentally proved that indeed we are all non-local and entangled. We are part of a vibrational field. And as you begin to practice your heart, as you connect to your heart and you practice coherence, not only are you creating and cultivating well-being within yourself, but you're also radiating information. You're radiating energy out into the world. And others around you can feel that. They're experiencing it. Imagine there's a research study that shows that when people are working together, their hearts synchronize with each other. And they showed that this heart synchronization has a positive predictive value of up to 70%, that group will come to the right conclusion when they're tasked with trying to figure out certain problems. So the heart is key to self-care. It's key to connection to our communities. And I think on this day, on Global Peace Day, it's imperative that we also bring attention and awareness to work that has been done in the academic circles for decades. It is work focusing on collective intention. And there's one particular study I'll bring to your awareness. It was done by Dr. Charles Alexander and his colleagues. Dr. Alexander is a psychologist from Harvard University. And it was during the 1980s, during the Lebanese Civil War. It was the Middle East Peace Project. And they hypothesized that by bringing people together and cultivating this state of coherence can actually cause a measurable reduction in conflict. And so they practiced this, they conducted this experiment for 2 years. They brought people together multiple times, approximately 9 times over this 2-year span. And what their research shows is that wartime fatalities decreased by 71% as a result of people coming together and practicing this intention. War-related injuries decreased by 68%. Overall conflict levels, they decreased by 48%. And pro-social behavior between antagonists, they increased by 66%. Now, I can tell you that this paper was published in a peer-reviewed, very reputable journal called Yale's Journal of Conflict Resolution. And, you know, a few years ago, I wouldn't dare talk about this in academic circles, but the fact that the Nobel Prize of 2022 is proving to us that, yes, we are non-local, we are entangled. There is a deeper reality below the surface of what we can see and feel in everyday life. There's a deeper truth. And we are deeply connected to each other. This is called non-locality. So the love that we're going to cultivate in this global heart meditation today is a love that can be felt in the hearts of everybody on this planet. It's an energy that radiates, around the world and really is feeding a field of energy that we're all emerging from, that we're all a part of, we're all influenced by. However you want to conceptualize our connection, I think that's okay. But to know that, yes, we are deeply connected. And it's through music and art that we can begin to share this message. We can begin to spread it. We know that compassion is contagious. But when you infuse the arts with this message, it becomes extremely infectious. And that's why on this Global Peace Day, that I'm excited for what the future has in store for humanity. When you begin to see a perspective of energy, and when you begin to understand yourself as an energetic being, you begin to appreciate that we now have tools, how we can transform, how we can align mind, body, emotion, how we can awaken that spirit. And knowing that as we drop into our own hearts and we show up with heart, that we're also supporting others. We're creating the space for others to find their hearts. So, my friends, on this day, there is a reframe. There's a reframe as we better understand energy. It's reframing how we understand who and what we are as individuals, as a collective, as a community. And as you continue down this road, as you begin to explore what we're talking about, you begin to appreciate that you are truly an extension of the whole. You are the whole experiencing itself. You know, the famous poet Rumi, I'm sure many of you have heard this saying that, you're not simply a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean within a single drop. And it doesn't matter if you're looking at this from a truly spiritual perspective or a very scientific down that quantum road. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, to truly appreciate our common humanity. And that is exactly what the Global Heart Sync platform is meant to do. We are literally gamifying the science of heart coherence, and we're helping reward people through social impact. So now that the practice that helps cultivate coherence within yourself so that you can cultivate well-being, when you use this biofeedback tool, so not only can you track your own progress over time and you can maximize your training, but you're going to also earn points. And your points is being added to a collective pool of points. And when we collectively reach milestones, we celebrate. And we can now approach organizations and foundations and philanthropists to exchange our heart points with real dollars. And that money is used to deliver more mental health and resilience programs into schools, into our communities. So this is a way that we can create cycles of compassion through the gamification of the science of heart. And most importantly, we can begin to recognize this global heartbeat that's emerging. We want people to tune into their hearts so that they can experience not just their own self, but experience the global heart and experience that global connection. And this is why, my friends, that September 21, 2025 will forever be a day where we will look back and say, oh, perhaps this was the day. There was a pivot. There was a shift in consciousness. So with that, my friends, I think we're going to start a meditation very soon. And I just want to remind everybody, now that we had this little conversation, these heart cards are always going to be available to you. And I just want to say, one, to color the medicinal mandala actually shifts your brain waves into a nice relaxing frequency, helps you drop into your inner spaciousness. And Now that you understand the meaning behind it, you truly begin to appreciate, that what you're sharing, what you're engaging with is connection, the science of, community and compassion. And at the same time, I ask you just to think about what would you like to share with the world? What's a message of peace or a message of connection, that you'd like to share with the world, particularly now as you begin to see the world through slightly new lens of connection and community through a global heartbeat. So these are cards that when you fill them out, when you color them, then we ask you, post them online, share on Instagram, and let's begin to help tune people into this conversation. There's too much noise out there. There's every conversation on the media is all about you versus me. There's not enough dialogue about how we are actually deeply interconnected, our oneness. So with that, my friends, what do you think?
We're ready.
We're ready, okay. All right. Oh, we got a crowd here. Okay, so for some of you, this might be completely brand new. For others, perhaps this is something that you do on a regular basis. I will tell you that every day, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're all welcome to join me in a growing community online that are practicing heart coherence, because we're dedicated to self-care and for the recognition of common humanity. This is a free offering simply to help people just better tune in to their own hearts. So as we begin, okay, I'm just going to remind you, it doesn't matter if you're going to do the meditation or if you're coloring. I want you just to begin to focus on your breath and slow your breath down a bit. Breathe a little slower, breathe a little deeper than usual. So let's just begin. Slow the breath. Begin to feel the sensations. And with every exhale, allow yourself to drop into the spaciousness of your body. Begin to notice where you feel your breath in this moment. As we arrive and become present. And on your next inhale, simply rest your awareness at the entrance of your nostrils. Feel the cool air of the in-breath, noticing the slight warmth of the out-breath. Activating our minds and tuning into the sensations of breath. Feel the stillness. And on your next inhale, visualize your breath with beautiful, bright, divine light starting at the crown of your head. And with your exhale, feel the light as it slowly scans your entire body from head to toe, and witness the sensations. Feel the light energizing every cell, every inch of your being. And once you have completed your body scan, on your next inhale, rest your awareness back to the entrance of the nostrils. Feel the rush of cool air. And as you exhale, allow yourself to melt into the spaciousness of your heart. And simply rest your awareness on the heart. Notice the breath flowing through your heart center with curiosity, with joy. Simply observe, simply experience, noticing the heart expanding with every in-breath, expanding the spaciousness on the out-breath. Reaching a little further into the spaciousness with every exhale. From this heart-centered state of awareness, begin to think of someone or something, an event that you absolutely love. Feel your body respond. Feel the embodiment of gratitude in your body. And with every slow inhale, you can begin to draw that energy into the heart. Breathing in gratitude and continuing to drop into the heart a little deeper with every exhale. Feel the energy of gratitude flowing into the heart center with every inhale, dropping into the spaciousness of the heart on the exhales. And perhaps you begin to imagine gratitude like beautiful, bright, divine light, the light of humanity, the light of our oneness. Feel the light received in the heart, dropping into the light with every exhale. Feel the sensations as the light saturates every cell. Knowing the light of humanity found within your heart center, infusing, saturating every cell of your being as you continue to drop a little deeper, melting a little deeper into the heart. And when you feel ready, you can begin to radiate this light from the heart with every exhale. Feel the energy beginning to flow from the heart to the body with every out-breath. And continue to draw the energy back into the heart with every in-breath. Breathing in the light of gratitude, the light of humanity with every inhale, expanding your heart center as you radiate light with every exhale. Can you feel the ebb and flow as the light of humanity radiates throughout your entire being? A light that rejuvenates, a light that regenerates, a light that purifies every cell, every organ, balancing mind, balancing body, in perfect alignment. I invite you to continue to radiate even beyond the boundaries of your body. Feel the energy flowing through you and all around you as you radiate out into your environment. And with every in-breath, continue to draw the energy back into the heart. Feel yourself expand and contract as you radiate and receive. Feel the energy. Feel the collective humanity flowing through you and all around you. Knowing that your light ignites the light in others. Knowing in this moment of divine alignment that our deep-rooted light and deep connection to the whole. And in this moment, we're experiencing our true nature. We're experiencing our oneness as you simply radiate and receive the light the light of gratitude, the light of humanity. Imagine a world where we recognize each other. We recognize the light within as a reflection of the same light in others. Imagine the joy. Imagine the friendships. Imagine the new beginnings. The ending of old stories and the birthing of new ones. Imagine a vision of peace, a future brighter than the past. Imagine a community founded on compassion, founded on love, recognizing our power, our strength as a community. Allow yourself to flow as you continue to radiate and receive. Feel the energy within your heart center, the light of humanity. Experience the oneness. Experience your connection to the whole. In the next few breaths, I'll ask you to slowly bring your attention back to a conscious state, a waking state. And bring your awareness to what you just experienced, bringing your attention to it, recognizing your heart, recognizing your light, and recognizing a deep connection that we can all experience. Thank you, friends. I look forward to hearing your experiences. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. You can find us on Instagram and share what you think about connection, what you think about the heart. What does it mean for humanity now that we can measure a global heartbeat? I'm so interested to hear what the world thinks. So can't wait to see your heart cards. I'm going to go and color mine with my friends here. Jody, we want to just come and say.
Yeah. Just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you to everyone here. We're surrounded by beautiful souls who've come from all over Toronto. And thank you so much for coming. Join us at globalheartsync.org, and you'll find ways to get in touch with us and join our mission, join our movement. And thank you for your heart.
Thank you, everybody. It's the heart of humanity. It's the flag of humanity right here.
Flag of humanity. Tag us on social so we can see you and we can see your cards and your beautiful faces. Thank you. We're getting lovely messages popping in here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.